Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, yesterday afternoon, I did a video about the doctors being banned in England for prescribing puberty blockers, and yet in Scotland they're pushing it. And I had a real go at this. I didn't like it. I think it was wrong, and I expressed myself quite, forcefully in that video. Then yesterday evening, I did a flash video because there was an article that said that J.K. Rowling basically agreed with me and that the doctors involved should be jailed because of the harm they're doing to children. And I was stunned. Maybe she watches the channel. I don't know. I hope she does. It'd be fantastic if she does. But it just seemed it was very curious on the timing. However, I did say in that I would do the full story, and so here it is. But she is someone who advocates for women's rights on the gender front and things. And she gives a voice where many women don't have that voice. And for that, that's why she's so good at what she does. But it seems also now, like I said in my flash video, she's advocating for the protection of children. And that also is something that we must all be concerned in. We can't be doing trans housing by proxy. We can't allow activity groups like, for example, Stonewall, to push this onto children. We must fight the good fight and protect them. So let's have a look at what JK is saying. And I think that unless you are completely out to lunch and mental, you'll agree with her. Here goes. So J.K. Rowling wants doctors who experimented on children jailed after the puberty blockers decision. Now, this decision only affects people in England and Wales, children in England and Wales, because the Westminster government felt it's important that we protect children. Now, as I put out in my piece yesterday, the self-ending rate among people who have transitioned is 20 times higher than normal people. And that's because these people will never be happy. They've been led down a lie by activity groups like Stonewall or whatever. These people pushing. Say, oh, look, this, that, and the other, you must be trans. Try and push the trans all the time. And they're pushing them down there. But the problem is they're not trans. And whatever is inside that's broken, that's making them depressed, that's making them sad, that makes them, like into this, it isn't trans. And once they've sat there and they've destroyed their bodies, they've had perfectly good parts hacked off, cut off, inverted, they realise they're still depressed. Because the problem isn't the body, the problem is in the mind. And once you've done that, once you've chemically castrated these children, you're creating a whole generation of eunuchs, all to push a political point, cannon fodder for your weird, warped, degenerate beliefs. And they need protecting. And so the UK government down at Westminster has said, no, we're protecting it, that's it. Unfortunately, because medication, health and whatever is a devolved matter, Scotland's got to deal with that themselves. And of course in Scotland they're saying, no, it's quite okay. It's quite okay. We're happy to experiment on children. We're happy to give the children these very weird chemicals. We're happy to castrate them. And then we're happy to watch as they self-end in startlingly high numbers. That's what the SNP are up for. Because, of course, the SNP can't go against what the Greens want. And it is the Greens that are pushing this. But one only has to look at Maggot Chapman, a woman who wants to sexualise 5-year-olds. It's a very weird position to be listening to someone like that and not jailing someone like that. Anyway, the Harry Potter author has become a prominent figure in the gender debate and has once again taken aim at her critics. But the only people who hate her are the degenerates. They're the people who are weird. They're the sort of people you wouldn't want anywhere near your children. If you are someone who disagrees with J.K. Rowling, you're a danger. You're an absolute danger to children. And there is no two ways about that. J.K. Rowling wants doctors who experimented on children by helping them transition should be jailed. The Harry Potter author was speaking after NHS England confirmed children would no longer be prescribed puberty blockers. And they haven't put their brackets in England. It will, I think, just as an aside, lead to gender tourism. And they'll be going up into Scotland to try and get the magic potion that will make them girls. It won't, of course. And it'll end all their little mental problems. It won't, of course. And, it's like it's a magic potion. Well, No such thing as a magic potion. JK only writes about it. It's not real. The pause and the physical changes of puberty, such as breast development, are often given to children who claim they are transgender, of which very, very few are. Edinburgh-based Rowling has been one of the most vocal critics of trans ideology and welcomed the decision, which was announced on Tuesday. But she's gone on to say more needs to be done to punish those who have operated on children, who are unable even to get the words out, unable to give informed consent. No one under 16 can give informed consent. It's illegal. It just doesn't happen. And therefore it must be the parents. And therefore it's trans housing by proxy. And this is because parents would rather have a trans child than a gay child often. This is a problem for them. On Wednesday, she took to social media to reference leaked files from within the World Professional Association for Transgender Health. WPATH. Yeah. Or she was on the warpath for WPATH. These include doctors admitting patients were often too young to fully appreciate the magnitude of the procedures they were going to go through. And Rowling, 58, said medics acknowledged children weren't capable of giving informed consent, but kept on operating and prescribing. Prison terms for doctors experimenting on troubled minors are more than fine with me. In fact, I think we should. I think we should absolutely jail every one of them. These people are no different from Mengeles. I mean, they would love to be in those camps. They'd love to be doing all this stuff. And Stonewall, everyone in Stonewall needs to be arrested. Stonewall, in my view, is becoming a criminal organisation, if not actually a terror, organisation. They're going in, they're blackmailing. If you've got to give us £100,000 and we'll put a plaque on your wall saying you're okay. Otherwise, we'll tell everyone you're a transphobe. Tell you what, tell them, don't give a shit. I'm a transphobe. Go on then, what are you going to do? Except I'm not a transphobe. I don't fear these people. These people need help. They don't need to be cosseted. They don't need to be validated. They need mental health. They need to see psychiatrists because they're not trans. Very, very few of them are trans. She also took aim at campaign group Stonewall. The controversial charity runs a diversity scheme, but many organisations have left due to concerns over Stonewall's extreme stance on trans issues. Stonewall set up, just another aside, Stonewall set up to get the same rights and freedoms for gay people as for straight people. That's all been achieved. Exactly the same rights. There is no differentiation in rights. So at that moment, Stonewall ceased to exist. There was no more fight. You'd won. Well done. But rather than breaking up, they went, right, trans, we're all going trans. And they actually threw out, and this is a really weird thing, they threw out all the gay people. There's no gay people in Stonewall anymore. It's all trans people. Peter, God, what was his name? Tatchell's gone, but the other one, Simon Fanshawe, he got thrown out. They all got thrown out because the trans lobby don't like the gay lobby. Because the gay lobby, gay men, like men. What gay men don't like is men who dress as women. Similarly, lesbians like women. What they don't like is a man dressed as a woman. And they've got all these trans people going, oh, but nobody wants to have sex with me. That's right. Because it's usually men going, but I'm a lesbian, only because they don't want to admit the fact that they want to pretend to be women, but they don't want anything to do with the cock, So they're all lesbian with their lesbian penis. And then they wonder why real lesbians don't want to be with them. Women don't want to be with them. A real woman wants to be with a real man. A lesbian wants to be with a real woman. A gay man ain't going to touch them. So who are they left with? Little circle jerk. Anyway, Rowling said she believes Stonewall's pernicious influence on public policy, the clear conflict of interest in taking money from the bodies it's lobbying, and its irresponsible dissemination of medical misinformation have gone on far too long. She also blasted the abject cowardice of many politicians, sections of the press, and certain members of the medical profession, saying they had allowed themselves to be intimidated by a loud, angry mob that capitalised on their fear of not looking progressive and sophisticated enough. All we need to do is say no. So when they come knocking on your door, say, you're Stonewall, yeah. FRO, mate. Piss off. Not interested. Off you go. Sling your hook. Don't let the door hit you on your arse on the way out. And they'll go, we're going to tell everyone you're not progressive and you're not tolerant. And you go, tell them what you like, love. Don't care. Look, me, not caring. And these companies don't care. Just look. Budweiser, Dylan Mulvaney, within days, billions, and I mean billions with a B and multiple billions, wiped off the value of the company. Doritos, within hours. They get this guy, pretends to be a woman, look at him, oh God, ugly as well. Yes, I'm going to be the representative of the new face of Doritos. 6 hours he lasted when it all came out that he was a pede. He wanted to do this with girls and that with girls. And oh yeah, young children. There was a 5-year-old, and I was naked and I was touching my nipples in front of this 5-year-old, and he's going like that. Bang. Doritos looked at Bud and went, whoa, pew, off, gone straight away. Didn't want billions wiped off their value of their property. Question is, why did they hire him in the first place? They're all starting to get it now, you see. The worm has turned. People are fed up with it. People have realised it's dangerous. People have realised children are at risk. And people are realising how dangerous these trans nutters are, especially the action groups. They are a clear danger. People have had enough. I certainly have. Anyway, I'm coming up. And we'll round off the video. So, yes, well done to JK. Well done. I completely agree with her. I think they need to be jailed. What we need to do, I think, as a society, is to turn the fear around. Instead of letting them dictate to us, we, as a society, dictate to them and say, no, go. We're not having it. We're not having you anywhere near children. You are all peds and pervs and predators. Sod off. Disappear. We don't want you or your ideology, your degenerate ideology, anywhere near children. If you want to dress up as a woman, fine. But I ain't treating you as a woman. You're a bloke in a dress. End of story. And let them fight the good fight. Don't care. Don't care. Just keep them well away from children. And everyone has got to reject it, especially where children are concerned. Because these people are always targeting children. All the time. It's children all the time. They're obsessed with them. And there's a reason for that. And we all know what the reason is. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Bye.